do you think should be vacant? I don't know how many of you noticed, we have a gentleman at the Pollo Loco on Saugus who thinks it's a really nice weather out, so he's going to drink at El Pollo Loco and spend the day there. So he's been arrested, so hopefully we will get him out of El Pollo Loco, which does not have a beer and wine license the last time I looked. So that's something that we're working on. Some of you might have been in the past few months to the Van Nuys Cruising Association is holding cruising night on Van Nuys Boulevard, where classic cars are driving up and down one Wednesday a month. We're having a problem because the parking lot where they were all gathering, which was in Van Nuys and Burbank, is no longer allowing them in there. Right now, the only parking lot they're allowed to be in is the Lamplighter parking lot, the one across from Van Nuys Sherman Oaks Park, but they cannot hold as many cars as are being attracted to the event. So it's been a really interesting event for the area because a lot of the people who go to cruising night are patronizing the restaurants along Van Nuys Boulevard all the way from Ventura up to Satakoy, but at the moment we have no place to put them. So anyone who wants to help work with us on that would be great. Last but not least, we an update on tree trimming, since I've gotten a bunch of tree trimming complaints this month. Where we stand now, basically, if you trim your tree without a permit and you don't kill it, all that's really going to happen to you is the street trees folks, urban forestry, they're going to go out there, they're going to cite you, they're going to educate you as to what the law is. So we had one of those this past month. We also had one where a tree was trimmed without a permit, that the tree was killed. So that one, if the owner refuses to replace the tree and pay the fine and replace additional trees, I will be filing criminal charges on that. So I will let you all know what is up with that, and have a good time with your speaker later today.
Well, would you like to engage in a meaningful discussion with him? Not tonight, though.
Not tonight.
But as many of you remember, Tamar and Superintendent Cortinas was here about, what? Where's the photo? I need a photo. Jules, just when we need you. Wait, we're not going in, Tamar. People won't believe it unless we have it on film.
Well, usually in campaign literature, no one will ever...
Okay, here we go. Ready? Here we go.
Thank you. Jules, quickly.
You know, we dropped off some literature on your tables about the Van Nuys Community Police Area Basic Cars. These are the actual areas and who represents what senior lead officer represents what area in Sherman Oaks. So you should take this home with you so you'll know who your senior lead officer is. It's on your table. If you need more of it, if you need more of it, it's on the front table there, if you don't have one in front of you. But this is very important that you hang on to. Also, we will have a drawing at the end of the meeting, so stick around.
Is that $500 drawings or? Oh, you can't tell us. Okay. I know I've seen a couple of deputies here. If they could introduce themselves, deputies for elected officials. Introduce yourself. Sean is a planning deputy for Councilman Koretz. Any other deputies here? Gone. Okay, one final update, and that's on planning. Marshall? Hold on what? Oh, that's right. Matt Epstein needs to leave the room. Matt Epstein is chairman of the South Valley Planning Commission. We don't want him to hear anything that Marshall is going to say. Right, come on up. Those are the rules of the South Valley Planning Commission.
Is he gone? I'm going to turn this over to Jay Weissler, who is our committee chair on routes, because the routes project is coming up. We had an interesting meeting with them, And so, Jay, you want to come up?
Thank you, Marshall. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight, for drinking all the Irish whiskey that you could be drinking and the green beer, because I know that's a big sacrifice for most people here, even if their name isn't Gilhooly. As Marshall said, we did have a meeting with Ralph's and with Sean Bayless, and they explained pretty much what the project was all about. And I know everybody here is probably in favor of renovating the old market and having a nice new fancy schmancy Ralph's market. And at first glance, it seems like it's really going to be a nice project. Ultimately, we hope that it will be. I'd really like some input from the community, however, to let me know when you start thinking about it and as you drive by that site, what you'll think about when you see a building 37 foot high, only 15 feet back from Ventura Boulevard. When you look at that spot now as you drive by it, it's pretty much open space. It's only a one-story building, slopes up a little bit, and there's two little hats on top of it, which I guess have the air conditioning and the heating equipment on top of it. It's ugly, but it's also unobtrusive. And behind that, you can see the mountains, and it gives one a feeling of open space. Now, when this project is completed, if it's done as Ralph's would like to have it done, there's going to be an enormous building there. It will be like a Best Buy right on Ventura Boulevard in that location. And if that's okay by you, that's okay by you. But I want you to drive by that location and kind of get a feeling for the change that's going to happen. And the reason I bring this up is because in order for that building to be completed, they have to get a variance from, as you've heard it before, the Ventura Boulevard specific plan. The variance that Ralph's is asking for would be 7 feet in the front and 18 feet in the back on the Moore Park side. And the reason for the difference is there's a sloping lot, so they need to flatten out the building to build it higher in the back. So it's 18 feet higher in the back than basically exists now, and 7 feet higher, well, not 7 feet higher, they need a variance 7 feet higher than the 30 feet that's already allowed by the specific plan. The reason we have a specific plan, I think, is to maintain the community aspect of Sherman Oaks. This isn't Wilshire Boulevard. We don't have high-rise office buildings here. So when a company wants a variance, we really want to be sure that's what the community would like itself. The building now is supposedly only a few feet lower, but that's only the little tiny portion of the top. It's sort of deceptive when they're saying it's so. Ralph says it's only a variance of a couple of feet from what's there now. That's very deceptive, and it's a specious argument, because what's there now is basically a one-story building and set way back from the street. So please, drive by that location, and I'd like you to email Soha and let us know your feeling. And Soha's email can be found at shermanoaks914.com. That's the website. When you go in the website, there is an email.
Well, and the email address is soha914@gmail.com. soha914@gmail.com.
So give me some feedback as to what you think of a very large building taking up that entire space. Secondly, in that same email, if you could, one of the reasons that they want a variance is because they're building up. The market's going to be on the second floor. So parking is going to be directly in off of Ventura, directly in off of Hazeltine, semi-subterranean, semi-exposed. There'll be walls around, but there will be some light. If we can get them to drop the building, then one level would be subterranean. Let us know what you feel about that. Does anybody have any problems with one level subterranean parking? And I know that's an issue with some people. So I would like your input, because we need to figure out what we want in order to oppose the Ralph's project as it is. Because personally, I think it's awfully big, and we'd like to see if there are good alternatives. Thank you.